Today, we're going to dive into a captivating drama featuring our main character, Sora, who possesses extraordinary supernatural abilities. With his powers, he can lift objects into the air without ever touching them, showcasing his immense strength. However, these powers also bring challenges. The story takes a turn when he meets the female lead, who brings light into his life. Her presence helps Sora find happiness and teaches him how to manage his powers responsibly. Additionally, the drama explores Sora's quest to find his parents. Throughout the drama, you'll meet a variety of intriguing characters who add depth to the storyline, making this beautiful love story one you won't want to miss. Let's dive into the story without further delay. The drama begins with a young boy named Sora, who has special powers. At the start, Sora is visiting his grandmother in the hospital. He gently reassures her, saying, "Grandmother, don't worry, you'll be fine." She smiles and agrees. And when she tries to give Sora a special mask, his father stops her, objecting to the gesture. But grandmother insists, telling his father it isn't Sora's fault, and gives the mask to Sora anyway. She explains that this God mask is something he should always keep close. It will help him control his anger and become a better person. Sora gratefully accepts the mask, promising his grandmother, "One day, I'll become a good person." At this moment, Diet, his father, says something harsh. "You'll never be human, you're a monster." Hurt and angered by his father's words, Sora's heart feels broken. Grandmother quickly steps in, quieting his father and reassuring Sora that he is not a monster. Sora, feeling torn, admits, "But every time, everyone seems to get hurt because of me." Grandmother tells him that with the God mask, he can control his actions and avoid causing harm. Sora then promises her, "I'll be a good kid, and I'll take care of you, Mom and Dad." He proudly puts on the God mask to show her, but when he turns to her for approval, she doesn't respond. Frantically, Sora tries to wake her and his parents join him, but she remains still. She has passed away. The scene then shifts to Sora's school. Sora lives in Japan with his family, though his parents are originally from Thailand. After his grandmother's death, Sora becomes inseparable from the God mask, wearing it all the time. This focus helps him stay grounded, keeping his attention solely on his work. However, one day, another student, known for bullying other kids, targets Sora. The bully snatches the mask from him, taunting him and assuming Sora is weak. Sora pleads, "Please don't do this, give me back my mask." But the bully only finds amusement in Sora's distress, mocking him further. Heartbroken, Sora's sorrow quickly shifts to rage, and in an intense moment, he focuses his powers on the bully, lifting him into the air effortlessly. Shocked, the bully struggles but finds himself immobilized as Sora's anger channels directly onto him. The force of Sora's powers is so strong that even the classroom windows shatter. The bully's face begins to show signs of strain as if he's suffocating. Just then, a group of girls enters the room and starts screaming, breaking Sora's concentration. The bully drops to the ground, and Sora suddenly realizes the extent of what he'd done in his anger. In the next scene, Sora's parents are called to the principal's office. The bully's parents file a complaint, prompting the principal to announce that Sora is too dangerous to remain at the school. They decide to expel him to prevent further harm, leaving his parents saddened and disappointed. Outside the office, Sora reflects on his actions, feeling regret and frustration at his lack of control over his anger and powers. At home, Sora's father, angry and at a loss, confines him to his room, forbidding him from leaving the house. When his mother tries to check on Sora, his father stops her, insisting they should distance themselves, as he no longer sees Sora as their son, but rather as a danger. Sora, overhearing, feels crushed by his father's words. His father vents his frustration, saying Sora has been expelled from every school and nearly hurt people on multiple occasions. To make matters worse, he blames Sora for his mother's death. Unable to bear it any longer, Sora's mom stands up for him, rejecting the harsh accusations. But Sora, already overwhelmed, cries out, struggling with the guilt and anger that begin to fuel his powers. The lights flicker, and the energy in the room grows intense. His father, terrified, prepares to confront him, but inside, Sora's rage causes objects to float around him, with windows breaking from the force. A stray object accidentally hits his mom, snapping Sora back to reality. He moves toward her to help, but his father blocks him, now resolute in his decision. He feels Sora must leave, believing there's somewhere else Sora belongs. As the scene ends, a car arrives outside the house, and strangers step out, ready to take Sora to a place he was meant to be all along. Only Sora emerges from the house with his luggage. After placing his bags in the car, he takes a seat and looks out at the people gathered outside. One of the individuals assures him, "Don't worry, we'll bring you back home soon." These people are from a prominent research institute. As Sora travels with them, the head of the team explains that they're taking him to the Institute for treatment. They want to understand the issues he faces, especially given the reports about his powers. The head mentions that they believe Sora might learn to use his abilities for good. Feeling anxious, Sora responds that he just wants to get better quickly so he can return to his mom and dad. The atmosphere grows quiet, reflecting the weight of his words. The head introduces himself as Mr. Soji, setting the stage for Sora's new journey. Next, we see the impressive Japanese Technology Science Department, an enormous facility that leaves Sora in awe. Inside, the advanced technology gives the impression of a futuristic world. Mr. Soji takes Sora to a testing room, explaining that he will need to come here every day for evaluations. Sora looks around, amazed by the strange experiments and the dangerous-looking drones. Feeling uneasy, he realizes he's in a secure area at the bottom of the science department, where escape is not an option. Once in his room, Sora expresses how much he misses his mom and asks when he can talk to her. Mr. Soji reminds him of the incident with his family and explains that he will be allowed to see them only after he gets better. He reassures Sora that they will help him heal, allowing him to live happily with his parents without causing harm to anyone. Sora feels a surge of hope, asking if Mr. Soji will really cure him and if he will introduce him to his parents. Mr. Soji confirms this, which makes Sora even happier. After Mr. Soji leaves, Sora looks in the mirror, promising himself that he won't cry anymore and will recover quickly to reunite with his family. The next day, Sora begins a rigorous routine at the Research Institute. First, he establishes a study schedule, but he struggles to grasp the complex material presented to him. Despite the difficulty, he remains determined to learn. Alongside his studies, Sora also participates in combat training designed to strengthen him. A doctor visits regularly to take Sora's blood for tests and to help create medicine for his condition. Although Sora feels scared during the process, he complies, understanding its importance. One of the main tasks involves discovering how Sora can lift objects with his mind. Initially, he struggles to lift a piece of fruit using his powers, managing only a few seconds before it falls. Mr. Soji observes this and realizes that Sora needs more practice to harness his abilities. As the days pass, Sora's routine consists of daily studies, constant monitoring through cameras, and increasingly challenging combat training. The frequent blood draws become a source of distress for him, but he eventually adapts to the regimen. One day, while getting ready in front of the mirror, Sora discovers a hidden camera behind it. A little girl named Momoko, who is related to Mr. Soji, watches him. Mr. Soji explains to Momoko that Sora is someone she will need to care for as he grows up. Momoko happily agrees to look after him, expressing excitement as she observes Sora on the screen. One day, after donating blood, Sora notices another boy who seems to be watching him. Although he doesn't see the boy's face clearly, he senses someone observing him. Sora's routine continues, involving daily studies and blood donations, all while being monitored by Momoko. One day, as Sora receives his usual boiled vegetable meal, Momoko sends him a card. Seeing the card confuses Sora, and Momoko feels bad witnessing his bland diet. Later, while walking, Sora encounters the mysterious boy again, who appears to have difficulty walking. Sora tries to greet him in an effort to befriend him, but the boy does not respond and walks away. In the next scene, Sora practices controlling his powers, treating it like a game. Mr. Soji scolds him, emphasizing the importance of seriousness in his training if he hopes to get better. Sora acknowledges this and agrees to focus more. That night, Sora is plagued by nightmares, which leave him feeling distressed. Noticing his unease, Momoko becomes concerned. The following day, she sends Sora chocolates with a note suggesting that they will help chase away his nightmares. This small gesture brings Sora joy, making him feel less alone. The story fast-forwards 8 years, showing how Sora has grown. He has undergone numerous blood tests, honed his fighting skills, and excelled academically. Despite his comfort at the institute, he still faces challenges, especially as Mr. Soji struggles to develop a medicine using his blood. Sora continues to have nightmares, primarily due to his longing for his mother. While he shows improvement in his power control practice, he still finds it difficult to lift significant weights. Mr. Soji questions Sora about his lack of focus, to which Sora responds that he has many unanswered questions and misses his mother dearly. Mr. Soji firmly tells him that he cannot meet her just yet and emphasizes the need for Sora to focus on getting better first. Frustrated, Sora expresses his impatience, pointing out that he has been hearing this for the last 6 years. He pleads for at least a phone call with his mother, but Mr. Soji denies that request as well. Instead, he advises Sora to channel his anger into his training to facilitate his healing. The scene shifts to Momoko, who has also matured and recently returned from college to visit Sora at the science department, as she does regularly. Today is Sora's birthday, and Momoko has sent him a delicious chocolate cake along with other gifts that he loves. The card reads, "Happy birthday, Sora," which brings a smile to his face. He feels grateful, acknowledging the care she has shown him, even though he doesn't know her well. He enjoys the cake, feeling a sense of happiness in the science department. The narrative then jumps forward 6 years. Sora, now a young man, still feels unsettled after his blood donations. Meanwhile, Momoko has officially become a member of the Research Institute. Sora's training has progressed remarkably. He has perfected his power control and can lift and manipulate any weight at will. Mr. Soji is pleased with Sora's development, celebrating his achievements. Sora feels a growing sense of hope, believing that he might finally be able to leave the institute and reunite with his mother. However, whether this will come to pass remains uncertain. The story concludes this part with this cliffhanger, setting the stage for what comes next.